Well, we're in the middle of the OHL's Christmas break, and with that, hopefully you're having a good Christmas season so far. I know not everyone celebrates Christmas or finds this time to be all exciting and whatnot, so figured why not continue to make some videos during this season. So if you need a bit of an escape, well, here you go. So I am recording these videos in advance, and this one, let's take a look at the mid-season report card because for two teams they have reached the halfway point with 34 games, the Oshawa Generals being one, and the other, the Sarnia Sting, but they're at 36 games. So Sarnia pretty busy in the first half of the regular season, and the rest of the teams sitting on 32 or 33 games, respectively. So let's take a look at the midseason report and your division leaders halfway through the regular season. We're looking at the London Knights, the Windsor Spitfires, Niagara Ice Dogs, and the Oshawa Generals. And for the Midwest Division, the Kitchener Rangers were holding on to that top spot in the Midwest Division. But for London, since that last report, they've only lost 2 games in regulation time. The Knights have been lights out. That's why they're now starting to run away with the overall standings. And they've been number one in the power rankings for the last 7 weeks. So the London Knights getting the job done. Well, the Windsor Spitfires, we all remember they finished at the bottom of the Western Conference standings a year ago, and now they have a comfortable lead over the Saginaw Spirit, 16 points in the West Division. And when we look at the Eastern Conference standings, the Niagara Ice Dogs right now riding a 7-game winning streak, and because of that last win over Brampton, put them 2 points ahead of the Barrie Colts for top spot in the Central Division. Niagara continues to be the big surprise this year. No one talked about Niagara being a possible contender or a team that would be challenging for home ice advantage in the playoffs. And yet, here they are. They had that hot start to the regular season, and they just keep on finding ways to win. The offense is firing on all cylinders, and that's why Niagara finds themselves top spot in the East halfway through the year. And the other team leading their division, the Oshawa Generals, we kind of expected Oshawa to be a team that would be contending in the Eastern Conference. The Brantford Bulldogs, the other team we kind of figured would be challenging for top spot in the East. What about the Kingston Frontenacs? Not far out of top spot in the East Division. So those are your division leaders right now. Looking at the team stats for the goals for department, a big surprise right now. The Niagara Ice Dogs, 145 goals for. That is best in the Ontario Hockey League. After that, the London Knights, 144 goals, while the Saginaw Spirit third with 142. When it comes to those teams struggling to find the back of the net, the Peterborough Petes right now have the fewest goals for with 77, followed by North Bay at 92 and the Owen Sound Attack at 95. On the goals against front, well, the London Knights, they've been dominating in the wins department, and it comes down to their defensive play as they've only allowed 89 goals so far this season, which is a league best. After that, Barrie and Kitchener, both tied for second with 90 goals against. For the teams giving up the most goals so far this season, the Sarnia Sting, 148 goals against. Of course, they had that tough stretch where they spent 9 games on the road and they only had one regulation win during that time. And second in goals against, Guelph, they've given up 144 goals. And of course, for the Guelph Storm, trading away Cam Allen and Ulrichsen to Brampton. So the signs right now are pointing to the Guelph Storm looking to the future. Hopefully, this is a team that can stop the bleeding when it comes to goals against, and also giving up 134 goals, the Brampton Steelheads. Now, that one is the surprise, as we all consider the Brampton Steelheads as one of the top contenders in the Eastern Conference, and yet they're sitting 8th right now in the Eastern Conference. Looking at the power play, it's a fascinating team that's got the best power play unit right now. The Ottawa 67s operating at 30.5%. Ottawa right now holding on to the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. A big surprise seeing Ottawa with such a potent power play. Didn't really expect that because the second place team is London at 28.5%. You would kind of figure since London is leading the overall standings, they would have a top power play unit. And also top 3, the Kingston Frontenacs. Their power play right now operating at 25.7%. Now the teams that have had a power outage on their power play, well, the Sarnia Sting, 10.4% is what they're operating right now, followed by the Flint Firebirds at 12.3%, and the Peterborough Petes, who had that very slow start to the season, their power play right now sitting at 14.1%. Now, on the penalty kill front, the Barrie Colts, they're leading the way when it comes to specialty teams on the penalty kill. 84.6%. The Kitchener Rangers not far behind at 84.5%. And yet again, no surprise, the London Knights right up there as well at 83.5%. Now, in the penalty kill category, the team struggling the most, it's the Ottawa 67s at 66.4%. We were just talking about how Ottawa had the best power play in the OHL. Well, their penalty kill needs a lot of work right now. Brampton, their penalty kill also struggling in the first half of the season at 67.7%. And then the Flint Firebirds at 74.8%. So quite the gap between the bottom-ranked penalty kill unit and the 18th ranked penalty kill. When it comes to penalty minutes, the London Knights and Sudbury Wolves are the team that has kind of dominated this category the last few seasons. But at the halfway point of this regular season, we're now looking at the Saginaw Spirit as the team leader in penalty minutes at 553. After that, the London Knights, they're second with 496, and the Sarnia Sting, 488 penalty minutes in the first half of the OHL season. Now, the teams taking the fewest penalties, you look to the Erie Otters, they're at the bottom at 324 minutes. Ottawa, 345 penalty minutes to their credit, and the Guelph Storm are at 349. What a gap between the first place Saginaw Spirit in the penalty minute category to the bottom being the Erie Otters. So now let's look at some of the individual player stats from the first half of the regular season. Leading the way in the goals department, Michael Misa, 30 goals from the Saginaw Spirit. He has been cruise control at times when it comes to the goals for category with Saginaw, but he has Nick Lardis right behind him with 29 goals. That's turning into a fascinating race for goals in the Ontario Hockey League. And then Ryan Robrick from the Niagara Ice Dogs, 25 goals, puts him in third right now for goals in the OHL. In points, Michael Misa also leading in that category with 61 points to his credit. But Porter Martone, the projected first-round NHL draft pick, right now second with 54 points. And then we have a tie for third. Nick Lardis and Kieran Walton, they both have 53 points halfway through the OHL season. Now, the plus-minus category, not a lot of people like to give too much focus to, but I was kind of intrigued by who's leading the plus-minus category. It's Finn Harding of the Brampton Steelheads, a player that we don't usually talk too much about. Harding, pretty active on the blue line, and it goes to show. Plus 31 with the plus-minus. Second is Anthony Cristoforo, plus 29. He was actually leading the OHL plus-minus at the quarter mark of the regular season. And then Christian Epperson from the Saginaw Spirit, a plus 26. So not too bad on a team that's been having its struggles of late. On the penalty minutes category, from the Barrie Colts, Gabriel Eliasson, he leads the way, 68 penalty minutes halfway through the regular season. He was second at the quarter mark behind Chase Coughlin of the Sudbury Wolves, who is now second in penalty minutes with 65. Then we have Matthew Antonovsky from the Kitchener Rangers. He's at 64 penalty minutes on the season. When it comes to power play goals, we have a three-way tie for 11 power play goals. Luca Pinelli from the Ottawa 67s, Ethan Procession from the North Bay Battalion, and Nick Lardis of the Brantford Bulldogs. They share the lead in that category. On shots, Nick Lardis makes another appearance, 187 shots on net. That is the most in the Ontario Hockey League, followed by Owen Van Steensel of the North Bay Battalion. He right now has 146 shots on the season. And then Ryan Robrick of the Niagara Ice Dogs, 143 shots. Well, that leads us now into the shot percentage. And Liam Beamish, the rookie out of the Sarnia Sting, 31.3%. He was a late addition to the Sarnia Sting lineup. And of course, that came after the NCAA vote, which happened just past the quarter mark of the season. And he has been fantastic for Sarnia. I really like the potential that lineup has going into next season. And Liam Beamish, he leads the way in the shot percentage, followed by Jake O'Brien with 29%. And then we have a tie between Alex Asadorian and Angus McDonnell for third with 25% on the shooting percentage. Of course, McDonnell, he's been out of the lineup since October for the Brampton Steelheads. So just a note on that front. Now, when it comes to face-off wins, Cedric Gandon of the Kingston Frontenacs, he's ahead 424 wins in the face-off circle. That gives him a face-off percentage of 54.4%. Second is Pano Femus of the Erie Otters of 421 wins in the face-off dot. But his face-off percentage is outstanding at 64%. And then Andre Loshko of the Niagara Ice Dogs, 398 wins in the face-off dot with a percentage of 51.1%. He's been fantastic for Niagara this season. When it comes to rookie scoring, Brady Wasselin now leads the category. Wasselin, of course, the Niagara Ice Dogs. 5 goals, 19 assists, 24 points, so not too shabby. After that, we have a tie between Carson Harmer and Jacob Cloutier, both with 20 points on their rookie seasons. When it comes to defense, Sam Dickinson of the London Knights, he's got 46 points, 15 goals, 31 assists, so not too bad. And of course, Dickinson right now representing Team Canada at the World Juniors. And then we have Luca Morelli of the Oshawa Generals. He has 44 points on the season, along with Henry Muse of the Ottawa 67s. So now shifting focus to the goaltenders. Leading the way in wins is Joey Costanzo of the Windsor Spitfires. He has 20 wins to his credit, followed by Jackson Parsons of the Kitchener Rangers with 19, and Owen Flores, 18 wins on the season. So Windsor, Kitchener, and Niagara well represented here in the goaltending category. When it comes to shutouts, Jackson Parsons has quite the lead with 4 on the season, and he also has the best save percentage in the OHL at .926. So great job there, Jackson Parsons of the Kitchener Rangers. Second in save percentage from the London Knights is Austin Elliott at .920, and then Joey Costanzo at .915. Now, when you look at minutes played, Nick Serzichka of the Sarnia Sting, he has quite the advantage there. 1,659 minutes played. So he's been highly counted upon there with the Sarnia Sting. And then you have Andrew Oak at 1,651 minutes and Nathan Day of the Flint Firebirds, 1,601 minutes. So it's interesting to see how all 3 of those goaltenders come from the West Division and being well represented. Now, when it comes to saves, Owen Flores, he's got the lead with 895 saves on the season so far, followed by Nick Serzichka of Sarnia with 816, and Carter George with 732 saves. So it's been quite the season so far with many twists and turns and plenty of surprises along the way. Can't wait to get the second half started. Of course, the action gets back underway on Saturday. And then we got the OHL trade deadline coming up on January 10th, which we will have a live stream just to follow along with all the trades and happenings around the Ontario Hockey League. So that's how I see it from the booth with the Midway Point report card. Let me know in the comments section down below your thoughts on how the season's been going for your team so far, and what's the biggest surprise to you so far in this regular season. Love the interactions. Thank you very much for all your support, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Talk to you again soon.